Hi gang, welcome back to Hither TMD in O gauge. Today's little update, not a lot really, tidied the room so I can actually get in here again and move about. You saw my last video, but now it's tidy so we can make more mess. First thing is, this week arrived in the post is some 3D printed bogies. These are going to be for my TML wagons. I've got 8 bogies. They was very expensive. Not overly happy with the finish, but then that was the choice of material that I was given, so not a lot I could do about that. This is a bit rough, but then that'll take the primer and the paint and hold it nicely. We'll probably hide a lot of the graining effect of the material, but it's quite flexible. Bendy, 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 bendy. Helps if I do it in front of the camera and not down here, you can't see it. So it has plenty of flex in it. It's quite a bendy, so that'll be good for following the track contours. I'll put Slater's wheels in there. They rub a bit on the brake blocks, but the material is not a good stuff for sanding, so I'm still debating what to do about that. But I've got 8 of those for the 4 set. Initially I'm going to be doing a 2 set. I've only got wheels for 2 set because they ran that way going down to Sevington siding, and with some bash wagons. Hence I've got me a couple of little open wagons which are close enough. They're not bass, but they'll do the same job. The squids and the Queen Mary brake vans, so that makes up the little Sevington shunt train trip thing that used to run backwards and forwards down at Ashford, as well as by adding then the 2 other centre wagons, makes a 4 set. Back wall, we're going to look at that now, adding a little lighting effect on it. All will be explained in the next short segment of the video. So, off to the workbench. So what we have here is the new end wall for the shed. Bit of MDF, a couple of holes cut in for the doorways. The vari-girder along top for the roof beam support. Some cladding, which is just styrene sheet, and 2x1 strips put down. I've got some wood block walling there, which again is laser cut out of MDF, and these are just bits of MDF stuck on there to make the beam work for the wall supports. And these bits here, now I don't actually know what they are. They look like concrete. They're painted white on photographs of the depot itself, but I don't actually know what they are other than the fact that they're there. So they're there. This block walling should be brick really, but I don't have any brickwork of the right size. Well, actually any in O gauge. Just some styrene 00 stuff, so that is obviously too small. So what we have now is the doorway to outside. This is the gents' toilets, and this will be a boarded up doorway which goes to what was the fitters' mess room. So that's no longer in use. This door will be shut purely because there's nothing behind to model, and this door here goes out to outside, which I have the photo back scene. However, because it's in the corner of the shed, it's going to be dark, and I don't want a dark outside. Outside is bright. So what I'm going to do, I have these 2 LEDs here. Nice long wires. I've done a dry run with the battery and just tucked it down the back, and it seems to brighten up nicely the corner. So with the Dremel I am going to carve out this triangle here, and that will allow the light to go down without seeing the LEDs, to downlight the part of the photo back scene. And the LEDs will live here because I'll use 2 just to make sure there's nice and bright up here. And then run the wires along here and down and out the bottom into the baseboard, ready to connect up. Luckily for 12 volt supply. These already have the resistors soldered on. They come from China. They were supposed to be micro LEDs for me to light parts on other different things. However, they were completely oversized and unusable for what they were bought for. So I'm going to use them for this, and hopefully we'll create sufficient light so in the dark corner of the shed there'll be light coming through the doorway. So I'm now going to go outside, go and get my Dremel and carve this out. Don't want to make a mess in here now that I've tied it up, do we? So there we have the Dremel little chimney, you could say, it's almost like. So the LEDs will line there, and then we'll run the wires around there, down there, and into the board. What I'm going to do first is, with this bit of silver paint, I'm going to paint this here just to reflect the light out a bit, so it's not just two little spots, hopefully. Quick stir. Grab it on the brush. Lots of metallic stuff in the bottom. Soaks into the MDF quite quick. So it shouldn't take that long to dry. And there we have it. So that should nicely spread the light out a bit. Once that's dry, get my hot glue gun, bit of glue, and run the wires down. And there we have it. So what we'll do now is just a quick test with my little battery here. 9 volt battery. Oh, if I can get the wires on. And that is what I'm looking for. So there we go. Let's go and place it on the layout and see the effect that we can get. And there we have the effect that I'm after. So I have daylight outside. I've got to paint over that green paint with something else to hide it and hopefully blend it in together. But compared to, if you look at the two doorways, it's brighter. So I masked up, took it outside, and I've sprayed it with some white base coat for the walls, but not the top. And the fun part about all this is taking the wrapping off to reveal the underneath. Now I'm not worried about the little bit of overspray there, because I've got to weather all this yet, but it's just to keep it generally, in this case, free. So there, that makes it stand out a bit differently, doesn't it? I can try cotton bud here with some thinner, just a little bit of acrylic thinners. See if I can get that little bit of white off without taking off the grey. There we go. I'm saying not that it really matters, because I've got to weather all this yet anyway. There we go. One end wall ready for weathering. Well, there is outside. I think the effect works nicely, albeit that is one LED, and obviously the camera changes the intensity of the lighting. It's a bit more subdued really, and when the depot's all lit up and dark inside, I think that'll create a reasonable effect to make it look like there is outside. I'm happy with how that has gone. So once I blend it all together with a bit of weathering, it'll look pretty good, I reckon. There we go guys, so I'll be ready for doing the weathering and detailing up of the end wall, ready for the next video update. Also getting on with the water tank, detailing that. I've got the ladders to go on the end and the pipes. Just got to work out what to do with the walkway on top of that. That'll get that done, and then it'll be shed floors and pits, get them sorted out and finished off. We're getting there, finally. So Modelling Mojo is back. So if you have any questions, type them in the bottom below and I'll come back to you with the best answers that I can come up with, if any. And that's if I say any, that's really, you know, come back with an answer. And we might have a running session for the next one. Have some locos up and down again. I'm still waiting for the R8s transfers to arrive so that I can get them all squared up, and the TTA tank wagons. It'd be nice to get those things to be able to tick them off as finally completed. So anyway guys, we'll leave it at that. Enjoy your modelling, stay safe, see you in the next one. Bye for now.